So let's check in on how our state governments are treating us in the year 2017. Well, that's lovely. When unpaid student loan bills mean you can no longer work, 20 states suspend people's professional or driver's licenses if they fall behind on loan payments, according to records obtained by the New York Times. That's like a bad joke. So, they say the following: firefighters, nurses, teachers, lawyers, massage therapists, barbers, psychologists, real estate brokers have all had their credentials suspended or revoked. Determining the number of people who have lost their licenses is impossible because many state agencies and licensing boards don't track the information. Public records requested by the New York Times identified at least 8,700 cases in which licenses were taken away or put at risk of suspension in recent years, although that tally almost certainly understates the true number. It's the biggest catch-22 you've ever seen. So people get into debt over student loans. So in other words, hey, I'm trying to improve my life here, get an education. They get into debt over student loans. If they miss payments, they go, oh, we're going to take away your ability to get to your job so you can keep working to pay back your student loans. That is a broken fucking system if I've ever seen one in my life. And furthermore, student loans, I mean, again, we don't talk about this nearly enough. It's like medical bankruptcy. When you talk about medical bankruptcy in other modern nations, they go, oh, don't put those two words together. That's not a thing. That doesn't exist. We don't have that. If you're sick, you get help, full stop. You don't go bankrupt. You don't, aren't going to maybe ruin yourself financially as a result of getting sick. That's fucking insane. That's insane. That's where we divert our tax dollars to make sure everybody's okay. In the U.S., we don't do that. We have medical bankruptcies. Oh, your life is ruined because you had an unforeseen problem, a medical issue. Student loans. Hey, sorry, we're going to take your car away. We're going to suspend your license because, you're back on student loans. Student loans shouldn't even exist in the first place. We should have free college. If fucking Slovenia can have free college, and they do, if other modern nations can have free college because they say, hey, what should our tax dollars go to? Maybe educating people. We should have free college. It's an investment in the future. It's not like you're dumping the money away and losing it. And by the way, even if you were, I'm willing to do that on education. I'm willing to net spend money on education. It pays dividends in the long run, man. When people are educated, they have a better chance of getting better paying jobs. When they get better paying jobs, the tax system is flush with revenue. So it net pays off in the long run if you do something like free college. We already do free elementary school and free high school. Why on earth would we not go a step further and do college? We have people in this situation. I mean, seriously. Student loan bills ruining their life. There are people who are 50 years old, 60 years old, still paying off student loan debt. And it's a relatively modern problem. In other words, it's gotten worse and worse as time has gone by. Now there's over $1 trillion in student loan debt. College used to be affordable. Now there's over $1 trillion in student loan debt. Gotta do college for all. Gotta do free college. Or else we're going to keep running into insane problems like this, man. And again, all the money in the world for wars. It costs over $1 trillion with a T, trillion, to build a new F-35 fighter jet. And that fucker didn't even fly for a while. They finally got it in the air. But it was over $1 trillion for a new fighter jet. Because, the old one just wasn't fucking good enough. ISIS with all their fucking fighter jets. We needed a better one to compete with ISIS. Over $1 trillion on a fighter jet. They just increased the military budget by $80 billion. They increased the military budget by $80 billion. It's now as high or higher than it was at the height of the war on terror in the mid-2000s. We're full bore in Afghanistan and Iraq. Why? Our infrastructure gets a grade of D+. We got student loan debt out the wazoo, medical bankruptcies, tens of millions of people not covered. But you have all the money in the world. By the way, it costs $100 billion a year to maintain our 900 military bases around the world. Nobody says, I can't afford that. Nobody says that. Well, guess what? I'm saying that. We can't afford that. We should slash away when it comes to foreign policy, when it comes to war, and divert some of those funds for universal college, universal health care, Medicare for all. I mean, we could, it's so bad, we could net save money. We could net save money and still give ourselves universal college and universal health care. That's how much we're wasting on wars of aggression. That's how much we're wasting $80 billion a year as a subsidy to the big banks. $4 billion a year to ExxonMobil. No, those are bought by lobbyists. That's because they give money to the politicians. That's why they get those things. Imagine getting your professional license so you can't work. Hey, I have student loans. I'm back a few payments. Now I can't work. How do they think that's helping the situation? That makes it worse. They took my driver's license away because I'm back, a few payments on student loans. That's going to make it fucking worse. Makes no fucking sense. Our system's so broken. We don't care about the little guy. It's time to do that, man. JusticeDemocrats.com/fight. Let's get people in there who will fight for the people, who are not beholden to big money interests because they don't take corporate or PAC money or billionaire money.